Okie dokie. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Super happy to be with you all. Grateful for the fact that you're all here. I'll just give it a few seconds, wait till everyone hops on, and then we'll get into it. All right. So, good morning. I said something yesterday that I would like to unpack today. And unpacking it simply means that it is important now to begin to help you move into a deeper level of acceptance and truth within yourself so that you can embody the totality of all that you've come here to be. I experienced these words coming out of my mouth and they really stuck with me through the evening. Human beings don't hate each other, they just hate themselves. And the seed or the genesis or the foundation of this self-hatred is the fact that you have been made to feel as a human being that you are fundamentally wrong, flawed, imperfect, broken, and a perpetual problem that you then have to spend the rest of your life trying to solve. And so the first thing that we have to get clear about is that human beings don't hate each other, they just hate themselves. And that this self-hatred actually is very powerful. Just like powerlessness was an entry point into infinite power, in that same way, self-hatred and self-loathing is an entry point into self-love. The key is, though, to not fix it, heal it, change it, or improve it. You've got to get to a place where you finally accept it and embrace it. So we live in a world today where if you are carrying the seed of self-hatred, which is a conditioned, programmed seed, then you are on a path of self-destruction and death. Your life trends more toward death and self-destruction. If you are living from a place of self-love, then your life trends more toward life and self-care. And so what we need to do as a community is get to this pivot point universally amongst us all, everybody, cult karmas, YouTubers, impact community, transformational mentoring community, across the board, holistically, we've got to get to that point. So just close your eyes and breathe and relax, everyone. And it's going to start coming out of your mouth. So you're going to start yawning. Just accepting and embracing anywhere where this seed of self-hatred is still present within you. And this morning, if you don't mind, holistically, we're just going to yawn it out or just let it come out, but it's going to come out from your mouth. Just take deep breaths and relax your body. And just allowing everything to come up and move through you. The entry point into sustainable self-love. A planet, a world, a manifestation of humanity where we love each other is for each of us to accept and embrace our own self-hatred and self-loathing. It is, of course, conditioned and programmed. It's not authentic to us. Your life has taught you to hate yourself and to reject who you are and to deny yourself. And of course, you were taught that by people who hated themselves. So this morning, if you don't mind, in somewhat superstitious parlance, we're going to lift this almost what feels like a curse off of all of you. If I was superstitious, I would call it a curse. Because I'm not superstitious, I call it a conditioned, programmed manifestation of life, a way of being that's not authentic to us. just breathing and relaxing, and just let me know when you begin to feel whatever's left in you, this conditioned sense of self-hatred or self-loathing that has you trending towards self-destruction and death. Just allowing it to lift up and out of you. More often than not, people yawn it out. But just breathing and relaxing. Human beings don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. And the reason why they hate themselves is because they've never been accepted and embraced truly for being who and what they are. So then they engage in self-rejection and self-denial. And then all of a sudden, that becomes self-hatred. That self-hatred then leads to some addiction or some self-destruction. People start trending toward death. So just allowing whatever this is, this conditioned, programmed manifestation of life, to be lifted up and out of you. And more often than not, people just yawn it out. Leave me a 1 or yes in the chat if you're yawning it out. But one way or another, for whatever reason, whenever we focus on this, it always comes out of the mouth. Fantastic. Relax the body completely. And just know that it's time now to use this point of initiation, this portal, this entry point called self-hatred to become a doorway into perpetual, everlasting self-love. So accepting wherever that conditioning, that programming, that way of being, that feeling has taken up residence within you. Sometimes people almost experience it like a nausea inside of them. But just relaxing and breathing and just allowing everything to flow up and out. And however it comes out, let it come out. By the time we're done, I would love for you all to live in a perpetual state of self-love. To have habits, patterns, and behaviors that reinforce life and that trend you toward longevity. Even if that does mean rogue nose hairs, all of a sudden your ears sprouting hairs for no reason, and the apparent loss of hair on your head that you can't explain, the inability to see for some reason, and the diminishing of your hearing. But anyway, just keep breathing, keep relaxing. Maybe once this is all out, you'll just start to look like a cherub perpetually. Little angel, human person. And you won't be aging at all. Who knows? Continuing to breathe and relax and just allowing whatever this conditioned seed of self-hatred is to just be yawned out, let it come out of the mouth. Allowing it all to flow up and out of you. Human beings don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. And they hate themselves because they've been taught from the very moment that they were born that they're wrong, that they're broken, that they're imperfect, that they have to change, that they have to overcome in order to get ahead, in order to survive. Why is this important? Because you have stubbornly denied your own light and your love because of this self-hatred. You've denied it, just like generations before you denied it. So just continuing to breathe and relax. And the more you yawn this out or allow it to move out of you, however it's moving out of you, let it happen, the more your lineage starts to get lighter and brighter, because what you're doing is actually freeing every generation before you and every generation to come after you of this thing. You see, somebody in your family dynamic has to hate themselves in order for you to then grow up thinking that that's the norm, in order for you then to inadvertently pass that on to subsequent generations. Human beings don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. So accepting and powerfully getting in touch with that feeling and recognizing that that feeling is an entry point into self-love. Just like powerlessness was an entry point into the infinite power that's unfolding everything in life. In that same way, self-hatred and self-loathing is an entry point into self-love. Breathe and relax. Human beings don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. And then they make it about one another. They project it onto each other. Breathing and relaxing. Getting in touch with that seed of self-loathing and self-hatred within you that's totally inauthentic to you. And just breathe and relax, and allowing everything to flow up and out and move through you. So, while this is happening, I just want to explain a few things to you. This is why we have war. This is why we have random acts of violence. This is why humanity has been trending toward death and destruction, its own annihilation. Because you have held on to your own seed of self-hatred. If you want every act of violence to end in the world, then you have to be accountable and responsible for your own seed of self-hatred. Human beings don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. And they don't even know why. They don't even know why. People are taught to hate others. They were born to love. Keep breathing, keep relaxing, and becoming intensely aware, allowing this feeling to intensify, of wherever this self-hatred is still present within you. Because here's the good news. When you finally step into a place of perpetual self-love, you set every human being on the planet free. Your acceptance and your love of yourself trends humanity toward life and longevity. Just like your acceptance of your self-hatred and self-loathing trends you toward working out, eating better, sleeping on time, drinking water, taking care of yourself, doing the things that you have to do, having relationship dynamics that are supportive and loving, saving, doing all of these things that you know are natural manifestations of your own self-love. So continuing to breathe and relax, and just allowing wherever this conditioned, manifested seed of self-loathing and self-hatred has taken up residence within you to just be yawned out of you. Allow it to come out of your mouth, just being relieved of it. A humanity that is informed by self-hatred is a humanity that will destroy itself. A humanity that is informed by self-love is a humanity that will evolve into its full and total and complete manifestation. It's up to you. Being a pro-humanist, I'd like us to evolve into our complete and total manifestation. To be the love that we were born to be, not the hate that we were taught to demonstrate and exhibit toward each other. Continuing to breathe and relax. And recognizing that love defends everyone's right to be human, to be an individual. Which is the very manifestation of free speech. Freedom of expression. is the freedom to be an individual. And upholding the right to be an individual is the greatest and biggest thing that we have to focus on right now. Good. How are you feeling? Let me know in the chat. Continuing to breathe and relax. And recognizing that if life is a bit out of sync, if you're not staying in this place of love, then maybe there's still some of this conditioned and programmed self-hatred or self-loathing present. And that now it's okay to begin to actually be freed of that. That you don't have to deny the love that you are. You don't have to deny the light that you are. You don't have to deny the presence that you are. And I can tell you this, in the end, love wins. So we're just waiting on you, beloved. Anytime you're ready, let me know. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. Deep breaths. Just allowing yourself to be freed of the self-rejection, the self-denial, the self-hatred, the self-loathing, the human dysmorphia that has you trending toward habits, patterns, and behaviors that are destructive and ultimately trending you toward death. All of this lifting up and out of you until all that's left is the self-love that was always present within you, that you were born to be. And in the presence of this self-love that is your natural state of being, you were not programmed to love, you weren't conditioned to love. Love is the very essence of who you are. All of a sudden, your life begins to trend toward longevity. Joy, receiving, abundance, health, vibrancy. And everything becomes an expression of the love that you are. Now, once you're freed of the self-hatred and the self-loathing, you stay in the love that you are, and you never have to leave it. Keep breathing, keep relaxing. I know it's hard sometimes to turn and face these things. But just accepting them, just embracing them, acknowledging that there is some conditioned manifestation, modeling of self-hatred or self-loathing present within every human being. And of course, because human beings don't understand how reality works, instead of being accountable and responsible for whatever it is that's within them, they conveniently make it about others and act it out on others and justify it. We've seen that throughout human history. But we're about to start seeing something else. The resurrection of the truth in the hearts of all human beings. Love. So anytime you're ready, just keep breathing, keep relaxing. And just getting to a place of accepting the fact that there is still some self-denial, some self-rejection or self-hatred at work within you. It's not authentic to you. Maybe it was your dad. Maybe it was your mum. Maybe it was a sibling. Maybe it was a grandparent. Maybe that was your most recent exposure to this denial, this rejection, this illusion of imperfection that you're fundamentally flawed. Whoever it was, it doesn't matter. Maybe it was a stranger. Maybe there was some trauma or abuse. It doesn't matter anymore. I would love for all of you to live in a perpetual, sustainable state of self-love. And in doing so, set every single human being on this planet free. free to be themselves. Free to experience whatever freedom means to them. Free to think, free to feel, free to live. To hold on to any manifestation of hatred is to sentence yourself every day to a living hell. To accept the presence of it is to be wise, and once again become aware of the fact that when we are all in a state of love, well, last time I checked, well, that's the manifestation of heaven on earth. So whenever you're ready, please set us all free. $8.4 billion people. And counting. Whenever you're ready, set us all free. Take some deep breaths. How are you doing? Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Can you see what I'm saying? Is this beginning to land and make sense to you? Are you experiencing it? Do you understand now and recognize that human beings don't hate each other? They just hate themselves. It's just, as a species, we're very immature. We don't understand how reality works. So then we just project that hatred onto each other and then we act it out. The truth is, most people don't even know why they hate each other. They've just been taught to. So, how many of you can see now that our entry point into sustainable self-love is to be aware of this self-hatred and self-loathing that's been conditioned and programmed and reinforced through our own self-denial? And you can also see that if you're struggling with addiction, the genesis of the addiction is self-denial, self-hatred, self-loathing. Then you need the addiction as the instrument of death. Some people are killing themselves every day slowly through drugs and alcohol or overeating or whatever it is that they're engaging in. So as long as you have this seed of self-hatred and self-loathing, you will reinforce habits, patterns, and behaviors that trend you towards self-destruction and death. Now, when you take this from a micro level and you put it out on a macro level, you can see now why humanity has been trending toward death and annihilation. Insanity. There is no other species on this planet that seeks its own extinction voluntarily. Squirrels aren't all kamikaze out here running headfirst into trees. Today's the day. There is no species that actively seeks its own extinction. Have you ever seen a kamikaze squirrel? I haven't. Do you understand? So you have to accept that hate is not authentic to you. You've been taught to hate, and you don't even know that you have. But if there is any addiction, any destructive behavior, any self-denial, guaranteed there's some seed of self-hatred. And to hate yourself is insane. It's insane. To hate what you are and who you are, the only thing you're capable of being, is insanity. Good. Take some deep breaths. Let me know when you begin to feel that love. Let me know when you begin to feel that love. And so I'm warning you, the self-love is going to become perpetual and self-sustaining, meaning you're not going to leave it. And then, all of a sudden, everything will trend toward that love. All your choices, all your decisions, your way of being in life, everything will trend toward that love. This is why there is no speaking to anyone while that seed of self-hatred is still alive within them. And so many of you have tried. You've tried to stop people from drinking. You've tried to stop people from doing drugs. You've tried to stop people from self-sabotaging. You've tried to stop people from killing themselves with food. You've tried to stop people from engaging in every undermining behavior and habit. And it's not worked. And it's not worked because people are living inside of this conditioned delusion of imperfection. So if this evolution is anything at all, it's a conscious pivot out of self-hatred and self-loathing, the rejection of who and what you are, into self-acceptance and self-love. Finally, allowing yourself to live as you were created to live. And a word to the wise. There is nothing that you can do about anyone else's self-hatred or self-loathing. What you can do is be free of your own. Let me know how you're feeling. Good. Grateful for you all. So can you see that human beings don't hate each other, they just hate themselves? People are taught to hate each other. It's not natural. You ever seen a baby just come out all hateful? Just wanting to fight every other baby in the NICU. It just comes out the womb all angry. Have you? You ever seen an angry, crazy angry baby who just hates everything? Ugh, that's it. Just born hating everything. I haven't. Have you? It's conditioned, it's programmed, it's taught, it's learned behavior. It's not authentic. Not authentic. Good. Yay, take some breaths and breathe and relax. Hopefully this is the end of your psyche being hijacked. And it's the end of you undermining yourself. And it's also the end of you trending toward death through some act or form of self-destruction that you secretly engage in because you're still living under the influence of imperfection. Laurel. Stop timing. Om Shanti. Squirrel. Heart emoji. No squirrels were harmed in the description of our pivot from self-hatred and self-loathing into self-love. Thankfully, there are no such things as kamikaze squirrels. Yay. Here's to no longer being a part of an entire species that is actively edging toward its own self-annihilation and destruction. Thank God for that. All right, everyone. All right, YouTube. Let's do this. Close your eyes and open your palms, you beautiful humans. Good morning, sweet friends, and welcome to another Call to Calm meditation. Human beings don't hate each other, they just hate themselves. And they've been taught to hate themselves. It's been modeled to them. On a micro level, hating yourself trends you more toward addiction and self-destruction and toward death. And until you become aware of the seed of this self-hatred, which is based in the illusion of imperfection, which perpetuates your self-denial, you're going to keep sabotaging, undermining, and preventing yourself from stepping into the totality of who and what you authentically are. Love. Humanity's next evolutionary phase is a pivot out of this self-hatred and self-loathing that's been trending us towards self-destruction and annihilation into self-love. Because the more we accept and embrace who we are as human beings, the more we access the love that was always innately present. And the more then, all of a sudden, we cultivate habits, patterns, and behaviors that trend us toward longevity and life. Simply stated, you live in the love that you were born to be. Close your eyes, you beautiful, adorable human beings, and take some long, deep cleansing breaths. Resting in the awareness of your breath transforms your life into a living meditation. This morning, seated where you are or laying down, just becoming aware of where you are located on this beautiful planet that we get to call home. Noticing that you are profoundly connected to the earth beneath you and to every human being as well as everything in nature. This morning, becoming aware of the Divine Mother, the manifestation and representation of pure, unconditional love. Seated where you are, resting in the awareness of your breath, feeling her reaching into you and pulling out this seed of self-hatred or self-loathing that has kept you living in self-sabotage, self-denial, that has kept you drinking, doing drugs, overeating, not exercising, not taking care of yourself, sabotaging yourself in every possible conceivable way. She just reaches into you and she just pulls it out in the same way that you would pull a thorn out of the sole of your foot or a splinter out of your finger. She pulls this conditioned, programmed seed that is inauthentic to you out of you, and she takes your addiction. She takes your destructive habits, patterns, and behaviors, and she takes your trending toward death with it. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. As all of these things leave, they lift up and out of you like grey ash or smoke, or you simply just yawn them out, shake them out. You, my beautiful friend, were born to love. You were born to love. That is who and what you authentically are. She takes the seed and it lovingly crumbles and disappears in her hand until it's all gone. She then, with infinite compassion, places her hand on your beautiful, loving heart. She reminds you who you really are, why you're here, what the whole point of your life is, what the blessing of being human is. Receiving the totality of this reminder. Where there was once self-denial, there is self-acceptance. Where there was once self-rejection, there is compassion and a loving embrace. Where there was once self-hatred and self-loathing, there is now self-love. And where there was once addiction and trending toward death, now there is compassion and trending toward life. Seated where you are or laying down on this beautiful planet that we get to call our home, you begin to see, feel, experience and know the self-hatred and self-loathing of every human being lifting up and out of them. It's like you've broken a pattern, lifted a curse, undone the hypnosis or the spell. And day by day, from this day forth, all of a sudden, for no particular reason, people just start waking up to the love that they are. Feeling yourself moving into a sustainable state of love that now you never have to leave. Because it's your natural state. It's who you were born to be. Setting all of your ancestors free from their self-hatred and letting every future generation of your lineage know that it's perfectly okay for them to be unique, to be individuals, and that they are loved and supported in their individuality, their freedom of expression, their freedom of movement, their freedom of speech, their freedom to be who God made them to be. A sustainable, perpetual state of self-love is what has always been patiently waiting for you on the other side of this conditioned, programmed, mass hypnosis of imperfection. Just feeling your heart, becoming aware of the heart of everyone else who's here all over the world. Grateful. Grateful to be able to live out the rest of your days, loving, being loved, loving yourself, advocating on behalf of yourself, and trending every day more and more toward life. Give yourselves a hug. Take some breaths. Let me know how you're doing. That was wonderful. You're all wonderful. So this addresses the disconnect that some of you are still experiencing between what's possible now here in Call to Calm and what you were allowing yourself to experience. So any of you that were the last holdouts that were kind of invalidating the love that you are, well, that's all done now. And if you're still struggling with this, just come back and rewatch this meditation until you're not. There is no group alignment session today. We are going to have our impact semi-private call though. So I look forward to that. Remember that the addiction, the self-destruction, the habit, the pattern, the behavior, the self-sabotage was all based in this conditioned, programmed illusion and insanity of self-hatred. It is insane to hate what you are. It's the definition of sanity. Insanity, to hate what you are, is insane. Sanity is to finally love who you are. So, here's what's going to happen. Addictions are going to stop. Self-sabotage is going to fall away. People are going to stop trending toward death. Humanity at large is going to stop trending toward death and destruction and self-annihilation. We are the only species that through our insanity has been actively seeking our own mass extinction. This is how crazy we are. Now, we'll start actively seeking our longevity and actively tiptoeing toward the truth of ourselves every day, closer to our hearts, closer to each other, closer to love. But I haven't met another species on this planet that actively seeks its own self-extinction and annihilation. Not one. Not one. All right, there you have it. So just to recap, powerlessness was the entry point into infinite power. That was the surrendering of the ego into the complete and total manifestation of the light, love, and presence, the infinite, eternal, and immortal you. Self-loathing and self-hatred is the entry point into self-love and a sustainable state of self-love. Once you're in a sustainable state of self-love that you access through the acceptance of all that you are as a human being, which is the opposite of self-denial, then you start to trend toward life. You start eating things like kale, walking, getting fresh air, standing outside, getting some good old vitamin D or vitamin D. You start actively immersing yourself in nature, music, art, beautiful things, everything that human beings have created that's beautiful, that's wonderful, that's innovative. And then, one day, in a not too distant future, you wake up in love with yourself, with life, and you stay that way. You stay that way. And you never leave it. Sending you all my love today. And sending you all a big hug from me. Again, no group alignment session today. We do have an impact semi-private. And just a reminder that we are a month away from being together in person in Nashville. I can't even wait. Bring your individuality and your uniqueness with you. And let us celebrate you and celebrate what it means to be a human being and to be alive. All right? Yay. Take care, you beautiful humans. What you lack in preparing me for old age, you make up for in loving yourselves and fundamentally turning the tide of human experience forever. So thank you for that. You can brush up on your preparing Panache for aging skills. Maybe I won't age anymore. Maybe I'll just start, stop aging. So there you have it. All right. Love you all. Have a great day. Live long and prosper. And remember, people don't hate each other. They just hate themselves. Have a great day.